Yeah, 1 2 1 2. When I say what's happening, world, it's your man Keith K, and for another nugget for y'all. So this is my effort to get a little more intense with the consistency with some of these videos and information to share, because for a few reasons. I've had quite a few people ask me to do this after my string of impromptu interviews and things I was doing on Instagram with different artists and different individuals. A lot of people were enjoying that and was asking if I would drop more content like this. And I know I don't like jumping the bandwagon. I know a lot of people are on this content thing, but I figured I would make an effort to do this to see where it would go and see if anyone would benefit from the variety of information that I want to share. So what I did was I came up with a whole list of different things, and I'm going to go down the line and divvy some of this up and see what you gather from it, get the feedback, and see what you think. I will be building some other counterparts with this. So for now, I think if you're catching sight of this and you're interested in some of what I have to say, just go ahead and like and subscribe to this, and share a comment or share the video and see what people have to say about it. My topic for this particular video is why audio engineering will never be automated. In the almost decade of teaching this subject in New York City at the Institute of Audio Research, the renowned and now defunct Institute of Audio Research in New York City, what I found is that a lot of people are very interested in this elusive art form, and that it's more menial than we think. I mean, in some degree it's creative, but really it just takes someone to show up and make it happen, whether it's in the studio, post-audio, pre-audio, or live sound audio. And I do believe that this service is very valuable and is needed and will never be automated. Now, I know there are services out there like Lander, there's presets, the plugins that you can use, just kind of throw stuff around, and maybe you can run into a cool sound by accident without really knowing what you're doing. But for those that really look into the functionality of these processors and the skill set that it takes in order to make things sound presentable, what you'll find is that this can't be automated. You need a user. You need somebody there on the other side that's going to make these changes and to accommodate the client at hand in order to get their message across. It's not going to be automated. You need someone to do it, and I think this pursuit can open up a lot of doors for people that are interested in giving the service. So why audio engineering? Well, because one, you won't be limited to just audio in doing this. There's a lot of client interaction that occurs in doing this. And when you handle the amount of corporate clients that I handle in a live sound setting, what you'll find is that these people are paying top dollar for engineers to come in and handle their sound. Now, a lot of this stuff that I'm talking about it's not as sexy as cutting a record. These are maybe 1, 2, 3 mics at the most in a small meeting room for people that just want to get their rote discussion. When I say rote, I just mean people talking in a lecture style that the audience is learning from. They just want their message in a rote setting to come across. And that's not to be taken for granted. It's a big deal, especially when you have some of these leadership individuals and big corporations counting on getting their message across. They're paying top dollar for audio engineers, A1s, what we call A1s, audio ones, and A2s, who handle the mics, miking these people in bigger show formats, paying big money to have these people on the show to make sure that their message comes across. in dealing with that, then you can be exposed to other elements that you may not be so accustomed to. Things like video, things like lighting, stagehand work, and things of that nature. And that then goes above that into operations and management within the setting, within a live show setting. You know, a lot of money flowing in between these positions, and you know, it's a team effort when you have these many individuals working within a setting just for people to get their message across. You know, when it comes to lighting and signal, electrical signal to our brain, you know, people spend top dollar to have this engineered to get their message across and to boost morale for their team. So it won't be automated. And because of that, you can be assured that there is job security within this, whether you pursue it full-time or part-time. Now, I'm specifically focusing on audio engineering because that's kind of what I fall into, but because of the audio, I've been introduced to different concepts in video, lighting, other things I don't really know about, but it's made me well-rounded enough to work along with professionals that have to come together and form like Voltron in order to make a show happen on a larger format. But trust and believe that in a smaller format, what we call breakouts, you know, smaller meeting rooms or smaller general session rooms, these are great paying positions that don't require formal education if you can gain some understanding. Well, how do you do that? Well, the gaining understanding may just mean that you help in pushing the gear into the room, or disassembling the gear, or what we call striking the gear, and then putting it away. That interaction with those that you're working with and following the directions of the leads who know what's going on, this can introduce you into the technology being used. And then you may find yourself getting into, you know, being an audio operator for a breakout session or for small general sessions. You know, it's very solid work. In fact, there are many of us that are very creative, have our own studio, we work on music, on beats, and maybe the money from these types of endeavors are not really covering the rent, but we want to pursue it. It's a passion for whatever reason. Well, you can couple these things that I'm talking about. Audio leads for breakouts, general session, what we call AV work, audio visual, and use this side of audio engineering to get some steady income to yourself so that you can maintain your equipment, the plugins you need, the food you need, the housing you need. A ton of us that are in this business, we play in bands, we're DJing, we're producing, we're doing all types of stuff. Well, that type of speculative work doesn't always pay all the time. You can fill in the blanks with things like audio visual to increase your income when things slow down, and you can still be within your field of work, learning new equipment, learning new techniques, and networking with like-minded individuals. It could be very lucrative for you. You could then maybe even move into management or regional management and knowing these things in different leadership roles with the flexibility of being freelance if you'd like. You know, it's just a whole world out there that a lot of people are not exposed to. And again, you know, when it comes to audio engineering specifically, whether in a creative setting or more like a live setting, which isn't always so creative, it's more functional than anything else, this won't be automated. It's not something that you can just put in the software and have it automatically adjust and then it's going to work. It can't, because the rooms that you set this stuff in are too complex. They have to be manually dialed in, And even with all the digital implementation added now, now it requires even more of people to come in that are skilled to handle these things. You know, we're going from analog to digital implementation to things like Dante, which is audio over Cat6 cable. Really requires a lot of configuration and knowing what to do. These things will not figure itself out. I promise you that. You know, you're not going to have robots in the ballroom striking cable. You're not going to have AI telling robots what to do when it comes to striking a concert setting. Audio hangs. I mean, you know, line arrays going up in the air with motors, motorized motors. That's not being automated, man. We're talking about very dangerous stuff that needs to be led by people. And they need people to do these things. So, you know, for any of you that are looking to pursue this kind of work, I encourage you to do it. And I'm going to, in the near future, I'm gearing up. This is just an introduction, but I'm gearing up to hone in a little more, focus more on educating people that are interested in this line of work. And I'm going to structure it a little bit better and more time in due time. But this is just an introduction. You know, I'm just putting it out there to see whose attention I can grab and get people to subscribe to the channel, and so that I can inform you on more of these things as time goes on. There will be some studio stuff that I'm going to be a part of, and also things at work that I plan to document, share here for our own professional development as a team in the audiovisual world, but also for those of you that are online looking and investigating different things that you can get into if you're in this type of work, looking to diversify your income and broaden your skill set in due time. So again, audio engineering, amongst other things in this field, it's not going to be automated. Trust me. That mastering software, automatic settings, and you can try that all you want, and you may get lucky, but it like the great engineer Tony Maserati said, every mix is a custom job. Somebody has to get behind it, dial it in, and then you have to move with it in real time. Some of these mixers have auto mix settings. Yeah, it helps, but you still have to monitor it. You still have to manually use it. Robots and AI are not going to do this. I promise you, it will not happen. There are tools out there to make it easier, but for the most part, people, aka the user, has to get behind these technologies to make sure that they're operated and right. And then you have, of course, the most important part, client interaction. Speaking with the client, getting to know what they need, following their program, miking them up, putting the mic in their hand, putting the lavalier mic on their clothes, showing them how to use the microphone, showing them where the placement of the mic is the safest. You don't want people standing in front of the speaker, getting feedback. None of that. And then those people that are in those lead situations, they need assistance too. And that can be a time for you to learn how these things work. I know because I train people like this all the time. I've watched people that know nothing about this skill set rise up to then lead their own shows and things like that. And a lot of this can pay very well. And if not, it could at least pay consistently in between time while you're doing other things. Many of us do it. Okay? So if this is interesting to you and you like this information and you find this enlightening, well, again, go ahead, like, and subscribe here, so that you can keep in contact with me. Check in my video description. I have a lot of links there, links to my own music, links to contact, links to videos that we've done. I'm all across the board. I'm just like a big media salad, man. When it comes to music, video, working the 9 to 5 in this field, utilizing this for regular work to supplement income, amongst other things. So, and then, of course, the spiritual core values that I implement in order to balance all of this every day, which is not easy. So I look forward to hearing from y'all and seeing y'all. I appreciate your support, years of support, definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to you on the next one. Peace.